Hi everyone, I hope you all are great and I hope you had a good weekend. Today we will have describing characters. So first you have to log in using the aplusden.com. Click on your name, move on to language at the grade 5. Chapters describing characters and lesson will be show character emotions and traits. Use action and dialogue to understand characters. Alright, so we'll start now. So a story usually shows what its character are like and how they feel. So whenever you have a story, it shows you what the characters are like and how they feel. When you write, try to use actions and dialogue to show these things about your character. Doing so helps bring your characters to life for the reader. Okay? So you have to use action and dialogue to show these things about your character, show how they feel, what they are like, so that it's going to be interesting for us as the reader. Okay, so for example, we have maybe you want to show that your character is embarrassed. So Maya's face turned red and she ducked her head. Did everyone see that Maya stuttered? Okay, so people often blush and stutter when they are embarrassed. So either of this sentence would help show the reader how Maya is feeling. So it's giving clear explanation as to how Maya felt, how embarrassed she felt. Okay? Let's look at some more examples so that you can understand this better. So, you're writing a story about Julia who is trying to find her necklace. Choose the best description to show that Julia is careless. So, you would have to choose a description that shows that, okay, she's looking for her necklace because she was careless. So, the correct answer you said Julia dug through the desk drawer and found her old sunglasses. So that's where those went, she said. Okay? So you are writing a story about Julia trying to find her necklace, right? So choose the best description, and then you end up choosing the one that she said. Choose the best description to show that Julia is careless. So Julia stormed into her sister's room. You took my necklace, she screamed. Or Julia dug through the desk drawer and found her sunglasses. So which of them would be the best option? So of course the second one, which is Julia dug through the decks and found her old glasses, shows that she's careless, right? Because she also didn't even know where the sunglasses were until she was looking for the necklace before she found her sunglasses. And then you're writing a story about Susan who has just woken up. So choose the best description to show that Susan is lively. So would it be Susan splashed some water on her face before brushing her teeth, or Susan out of bed and stretched her arms? I think I will go for a run, she said. So which of them shows that Susan is lively? So it has to be because she bounced out of bed and stretched her arms, and then she said she'll go for a run. So you can see that she has woken up straightened and so much lively. So you're writing a story about Eve who is hiking down a mountain. Choose the best description to show that Eve is weary. Now, so Eve is weary. We have some options here. Every few years, Eve stopped to take a picture or just admire the scenery. Eve dragged her feet along the trail and fought to keep her eyes open. So it has to be weary because the other one, it shows that she's happy and enjoying the hike. Okay, but dragging her feet along the trail for to keep her eyes open shows that she's what, weary. So basically, you have to choose the right options that explains what the character is feeling or how the character feels. Example, we have you're writing a story about Eva, who is a student, new student. So choose the best description to show that Eva is shy. So you have to get the description that shows that this person is shy. So if at the clock, how was it not even known yet? Signing, she rested her head on the text. Now, Eva buried her hands in her pocket and fixed her eyes on the floor. So is it gonna be the first or the second? All right, so you have to try to share your answers with me, okay? So we have the second one because she puts her hand in her pocket and she's looking at the ground. So you write a story about Kara who is hiking in mountain. Show the best description, show that choose the best description that shows that Kara is strong, okay? So Kara was sweating under the heavy load of her pack, but she continued to hike. Kara stopped to rest again, setting her pack on the ground. This is too hard, she said. So, what's the best one that shows she is strong? Alright, so showing that she's strong will be the first one. Okay. Alright, so we have you're writing a story about Russell who is choosing a new puppy. You have to choose the best description that shows that Russell is certain. When Russell saw the puppy, he said, I'm going to name him Rusty. So Russell drew back when he saw the puppy fiddling with his buttons on his coat. First or second? Okay, so we have the first one. Okay, so next off we have you're writing a story about Janelle who is staying at a friend's cabin. Choose the best description show that Janelle is content. So Janelle zipped up her coat and pulled her gloves on. Brr, it looks ugly out here, she said with a shiver. Then Janet gazed into the fireplace and pressed her feet into the thick carpet. It is so nice and warm in here, she said. So is it the first or the second? Which of them? Okay, so content, we have the second one. It shows that she's okay with where she stayed. So you're writing a story about Vera, who's asked to help plan the school dance. Choose the best description to show that Vera is so excited. So Vera nodded quickly and asked for more information. Vera bit her lip and took a step back. First a second. Okay, so we have what's the first one? Okay, so you're writing a story about Stacy who has entered a drawing contest. Choose the best description to show that Stacy is proud. So Stacy stood to her finished drawing and smiled, her head high. Stacy stood in front of her drawing as if to hide it. First, a second to show that she's proud. Okay, so we have what? The first one, because she shows that she was proud. So you're writing a story about Barbara, so which is who is fighting her friend. So she's fighting a friend. You have to choose the best description to show that Barbara is sad. So tears began to well in Barbara's eyes, so she turned her face away. Barbara shook her head forcefully. No, she said once again, you're completely wrong. Which one shows that she's sad? Okay, so we have the first one. It shows that she's sad because she was crying. Okay. So you're writing a story about Ali who is eating ice cream. Choose the best description to show that Ali is messy. So Ali finished her ice cream cone. Ali wiped her hands on her pants. After Ali finished her cone, she checked the mirror to see if she had any ice cream on her face. So which of them shows that she's messy? Give me the right answer. Okay, so we have the first one because she wiped it on her pants. That shows that she's messy. Alright, we're done with this first lesson, which shows the characters, emotion, and traits. We'll move on to the next one. You have to make sure you try to complete this one if you haven't done it, okay? So complete it. Alright, so this is use actions and dialogue to understand the character. So this like just like the same thing. Okay, nothing changes. All right, so we have in a story, the characters' action and dialogue can tell you what they are like and how they feel. Okay, so that's what it is. So we have Mara's face turned a bit red. Did anyone see that she just stuttered? Okay, so Mara's embarrassed. You can tell because people often blush and stutter when they are embarrassed. Okay, and Andrew was so scared he was shaking. Still, he had his head high and walked into the stage. Andrew is brave. You can tell because he goes on stage even though he is scared. Okay? So for the examples, we have read the sentence. When Raleigh said, "Hello, Mr. Hurst," replied with only a short gird. Based on the story, what is Mr. Hurst probably like? He's probably what's unfriendly because when someone said hello to him, he didn't really answer. He just like, okay. So for a year, Miss Dodson woke up an hour early and wrote every day before going to work. At the end of the year, she had finished a book. So, based on the sentence, what is Miss Dodson probably like? Hardworking. Okay? So, Mary wrinkled her nose and looked away. Based on the story, how is Mary probably feeling disgusted when she wrinkled her nose? Okay, so let's move to the test. You can share your answers with me. Okay. So when Riley said hello, Mr. Hertz replied with only a short grunt. Based on the sentence, what is Mr. Hertz probably like? Patient, hurried, or unfriendly? All right, so we have unfriendly. Okay. So Stephen pushed his glasses up his nose, then he knelt down so that he could look more closely at the insect. So based on the three on these sentences, how is Steve probably feeling? Curious or strange? Which of them? So he's what? Curious. Okay, so Pat asked what that the award be given to his whole team instead of just him. I couldn't have done it without them, he said. Based on these sentences, what is Pat probably like? Calm or humble? First or the second? Okay, so he's humble. That's why he said he wouldn't have done it without his team. So, next off, Mary wrinkled her nose and looked away. Based on this story, Mary is probably feeling lonely or disgusted. Which of them? Okay, so we have disgusted. Okay. For a year, Miss Dawson woke up an hour early and wrote every day before going to work. At the end of the year, she had finished a book. Based on this sentence, what is Miss Dawson's probably like? Hardworking or lazy? All right, so we have hardworking. Okay, so as soon as the group were announced, Scott took charge. Brittany and I will do the research, and Omar can make the poster. Any questions based on this sentence? What is Scott probably like? Commanding or weak? Okay, so we have commanding. Okay, so he is what? Commanding. Molly's whole body was shaking, and her voice grew louder with every word based on this sentence. How is Molly probably feeling? Bored or angry? Okay, so we have angry. Alright, that's it for our lesson on the describing characters. Can you tell me if you have any questions? Do you guys have any question or not? Alright, so since we have no questions, we'll end here. Try to complete this lesson if you haven't done it before. I'll see you all next time. Bye, everyone.